A 70-year-old man was found lifeless in his bed one quiet morning. There were no signs of struggle, no cries for help, no history of serious illness. His face looked peaceful, like he had simply drifted into a deep sleep and never returned. But behind that calm expression was a chilling truth. What caused his silent departure? It wasn't some rare disease. It wasn't genetics. It was something far more common and far more dangerous. 5 everyday bedtime habits, so ordinary that most people over 70 never think twice about them. These were the habits that quietly built up over time, weakening his heart, disrupting his sleep, and stressing his aging body, until one night, they took their final toll. And here's the most important part. This wasn't just his story. It could be yours. It could be someone you love. In today's video, we're uncovering the 5 bedtime habits you must avoid after 70, habits that might seem harmless but could silently lead to a tragedy like this. We'll show you exactly what they are, why they're dangerous, and what safer, healthier routines you can adopt instead, so you or your loved ones can sleep with peace of mind and wake up stronger every day. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and stay with us. Because what you're about to hear could genuinely save a life. Zaror, Neche Apka paragraph or Zayada emotional, engaging or dramatic style main rewrite Kia Gaya Hai, Jo audience Ko strongly connect Karega or story main Gusadega. Section 1. Let's begin with the quiet yet heartbreaking story of Mr. Harold Langley, a retired schoolteacher from the peaceful suburbs of Oregon. A man known for his gentle wisdom, contagious laugh, and the way his eyes lit up every time his grandchildren ran into the room. At 70, Harold was still active. He took evening walks, read bedtime stories to his grandkids, and never missed a Sunday church service. On a calm Tuesday night, after a warm dinner and a light-hearted conversation with his wife, Margaret, Harold climbed into bed, just like he always did. The clock ticked past 10 p.m. Margaret kissed him goodnight, adjusted the blanket over his chest, and turned off the bedside lamp. Everything was normal. Everything was fine. But the next morning, Harold didn't wake up. At first, it seemed like he had passed peacefully in his sleep. No signs of pain. No last-minute emergency. Just stillness. The doctors called it natural causes, a phrase we hear too often, yet rarely question. But Margaret couldn't accept it. He was healthy, she whispered. He wasn't sick. He was just gone. And when medical specialists reviewed Harold's lifestyle, a disturbing pattern began to emerge. He wasn't suffering from a disease. He wasn't battling a hidden illness. He had simply fallen into a series of innocent-looking bedtime habits, the kind most people adopt without a second thought, especially after retirement. But here's the thing, after 70, your body becomes more vulnerable, more reactive to small stressors, poor routines, and disruptions to your internal rhythm. And for Harold, these seemingly harmless habits built up night after night, silently stressing his heart until one evening, it simply couldn't take it anymore. Doctors identified 5 specific bedtime mistakes that, together, likely triggered a fatal cardiac arrhythmia in his sleep. And now, we're going to uncover each one, because they could be happening in your home too. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. Let's begin. Zaror, Neche Section 2 Ka Apka Diagaya content or Zayada engaging, detailed, and emotionally compelling Bana Kar rewrite Kia Gaya Hai. Ye version not only informs but also pulls the viewer in with vivid imagery, relatable tone, and expert authority. Section 2. So what was the first quiet but deadly mistake Mr. Langley made? Eating a heavy dinner too close to bedtime. For Harold, dinner was more than just a meal. It was a ritual. Every night around 8:30 p.m., he'd sit down to a large plate of comfort food, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, rich gravies, sometimes followed by a sweet dessert and a glass of whiskey or wine to help him sleep. To most people, it sounds cozy, like something earned after a long life. But for someone over 70, this routine can quietly wreak havoc on the body. You see, after the age of 65, the body's metabolism slows down significantly. Your digestive system isn't as efficient. The stomach produces less acid, and the muscles that push food through your intestines become weaker. What that means is simple. What used to be harmless becomes risky. Let's break down what's happening inside the body during a late, heavy dinner. Blood is redirected from the heart and brain to the digestive organs, placing strain on the cardiovascular system. The stomach struggles to break down fatty or protein-rich meals, leading to discomfort and inflammation. The vagus nerve, which connects the brain to the heart and gut, can become overstimulated, leading to irregular heart rhythms or even bradycardia, a dangerously slow heartbeat. Acid reflux becomes more likely at night, and in some cases, this can cause silent aspiration, where stomach acid or food particles enter the lungs without a cough, quietly damaging them during sleep. Cut to visual, a slowed-down animation showing the digestive system working overtime, with strain on the heart and vagus nerve lighting up. And while it may sound dramatic, it's not. Geriatricians see this pattern all the time. Expert insight. Dr. Amanda Lee, a leading geriatrician, puts it plainly. People over 70 are not fueling for a marathon at night. You're preparing the body for repair and rest. A heavy meal before bed turns the body into a battleground instead of a place of peace. Your heart has to work overtime while your brain tries to sleep. It's a dangerous mismatch. So, what should you do instead? White heavy checkmark: eat dinner at least 3 hours before bedtime, ideally by 7 p.m. White heavy checkmark: choose lighter meals. Think soups, steamed vegetables, bone broth, or small portions of lean proteins like fish or lentils. White heavy checkmark: skip the dessert and alcohol. Swap with calming herbal teas like chamomile, lemon balm, or ginger. White heavy checkmark: avoid spicy, greasy, or acidic foods, especially after sunset. Even small changes in your evening meal can dramatically improve your heart health, sleep quality, and even reduce your risk of nighttime strokes or cardiac events. Call to action. Let's take a moment to reflect. Backhand index pointing right: what time was your last meal last night? Backhand index pointing right: was it light or heavy? Backhand index pointing right: how did you sleep afterward? These questions might seem small, but the answers could be the difference between waking up refreshed or not waking up at all. And this was just the first habit. The second one is even more common and far sneakier. Let's keep going. Zaro. Nache section 3 ka apka dia gaya content ko, or interesting, emotionally resonant, engaging, or slightly expanded version main lika gaya hai. Ism hum visuals ko clearly highlight kia hai, expert advice ko emphasize kia hai, or viewers ko emotions ko gently tap kia hai to keep them watching. Section 3. The second habit that quietly chips away at health after 70 is one that seems harmless, so much so that most retirees don't even question it. Backhand index pointing right: an inconsistent sleep schedule. Mr. Langley, like many retired individuals, had no strict bedtime. Some nights he'd be in bed by 9 p.m., other nights, he'd watch TV until midnight. Occasionally, he'd nap during the day, sometimes for an hour, sometimes even 2. It didn't seem like a big deal. After all, he was retired. No alarm clocks. No job to wake up for. So why not sleep when it feels right? But what Harold, and many others, didn't realize was that these irregular sleep patterns were quietly disrupting his brain, his heart, and even his immune system. Why this matters more after 70? As we age, our circadian rhythm, the body's natural internal clock, becomes weaker. This rhythm controls when we feel alert, sleepy, hungry, even how our organs perform at certain times of day. But after 70, this clock becomes fragile. And when you go to sleep and wake up at different times every day, it sends mixed signals to the brain. Melatonin production drops. Brainwave activity becomes erratic. Your heart rate variability suffers. Inflammation increases. And over time, this can lead to serious consequences. Expert insight. Dr. Susan Patel, a leading sleep specialist, explains it like this. Older adults often report feeling wide awake at night and drowsy during the day. That's not just aging. It's a sign that their circadian rhythm is out of sync. The best medicine? Routine. A fixed sleep and wake time, every day without fail. The silent damage of irregular sleep. Medical research now shows that poor sleep regularity in seniors is linked to higher rates of stroke and cardiovascular events. Exclamation mark impaired short-term memory and higher risk of Alzheimer's. Exclamation mark weakened immune system, making the body vulnerable to infections. Exclamation mark mood disorders like anxiety and depression. And when sleep is disrupted, even a healthy heart can skip beats, misfire, or fatigue, especially during the critical hours of 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. What can you do instead? Heavy check marks set a fixed bedtime and wake-up time. Yes, even on weekends. Heavy check mark limit naps to 20 to 30 minutes during the early afternoon, never in the evening. Heavy check mark create a relaxing pre-bed routine to train your brain. Dim the lights, light stretching or soft yoga. Play calming music or nature sounds. Avoid screens and news before bed. These habits may seem small, but together, they help reset your internal clock and give your aging body a sense of safety and rhythm. Ask yourself, 3 o'clock, are you letting retirement erase your structure? Crescent moon, is your body getting mixed signals night after night? Because remember, consistency creates stability. And stability is what your brain and heart crave after 70. Stick around, because habit number 3 is something even healthy seniors often overlook, and it may be quietly damaging your lungs and heart as you sleep. Section 4. Now let's talk about one of the most silent and overlooked dangers that take place behind closed bedroom doors. One that doesn't make a sound, one that's often hidden behind a routine pillbox. Backhand index pointing right, nighttime medication mistakes. Mr. Langley was diligent. Like clockwork, he took his prescribed pills every evening before bed. His blood pressure medication, an over-the-counter antacid, and sometimes a sedative to help him unwind. To him, it was just part of his nightly routine. To his heart, it was a ticking time bomb. The hidden risk in the medicine cabinet. What Mr. Langley didn't know, and what so many seniors are never told, is that certain medications, when taken at night, can dangerously lower your blood pressure while you sleep. And when your body is in a lying position, this drop becomes even more dramatic, leading to exclamation mark dizziness upon waking. Exclamation mark reduced blood flow to the brain and heart. Exclamation mark disrupted breathing patterns. Exclamation mark, and in some cases, a fatal cardiac arrhythmia. Lotion bottle beta blockers, often prescribed for heart conditions, but can cause extreme drops in nighttime blood pressure. Pill diuretics, or water pills, meant to flush out salt, but they can lead to dehydration and midnight bathroom trips, which increase the risk of falls. Crescent moon sedatives like benzodiazepines, such as Valium or Xanax. While they may help with sleep, they also slow breathing and impair brain function. Broken heart, certain antidepressants, which alter brain chemistry and can interfere with REM sleep. Sleeping face, over-the-counter sleep aids with diphenhydramine, commonly found in PM pain relievers. These can cause confusion, dry mouth, and even worsen dementia symptoms in the elderly. Expert insight, Dr. Kevin Morris, cardiologist. After 70, how and when you take your medication becomes just as important as what you take. Some pills are best in the morning to avoid overnight hypotension. Others should never be taken with alcohol, yet many seniors unknowingly combine the two after dinner. It's not about stopping your medication. It's about timing and awareness. Better practices that could save a life. White heavy checkmark, create a clear medication schedule with specific AM/PM times. White heavy checkmark, review all bedtime meds with a pharmacist or doctor every 6 months. White heavy checkmark, avoid mixing pills with alcohol, grapefruit juice, or herbal supplements that may interfere with absorption. White heavy checkmark, keep a notebook or app to track side effects like dizziness, nightmares, or early waking. White heavy checkmark, test your blood pressure before bed and after waking for a week if you're starting or adjusting a prescription. Mr. Langley's medications weren't wrong. They were just mistimed. And in the delicate balance of an aging body, timing is everything. The difference between healing and harm can come down to something as small as when you open that pill bottle. Coming up next, habit number 4 might seem like good hygiene, but it's secretly causing poor oxygen levels while you sleep. Stay with us. Your life could literally depend on it. Conclusion. Harold Langley's story wasn't rare. He didn't have a terminal disease. He didn't show warning signs anyone recognized. He just didn't wake up. But the truth is, his death wasn't sudden. It was slow, cumulative, built night after night, on small bedtime mistakes that added up over the years. And he's not alone. Every year, thousands of seniors quietly pass in their sleep, not because of bad luck or genetics, but because of seemingly harmless routines that quietly weaken the body over time. Brain, let's rewind and remember the 5 habits that can turn deadly after 70. 1. Eating heavy meals too close to bedtime. Your stomach isn't built to run a marathon at midnight. 2. Having an inconsistent sleep schedule. Your brain still needs a routine, even if you're retired. 3. Taking medications at the wrong time. The right pill at the wrong hour can be a silent killer. 4. Sleeping in a harmful position. Back sleeping may feel relaxing, but for many, it starves the body of oxygen. 5. Ignoring nighttime bathroom signals. Your body is whispering to you in the dark. Don't ignore it. Light bulb, but here's the good news. These aren't fixed fates. They're not carved into your DNA. They're choices, habits, patterns. And patterns can be changed. So, tonight ask yourself, bowl with spoon, did I eat light and early? Mantelpiece clock, did I stick to a regular bedtime? Pill, did I double check my meds? Person in bed, am I sleeping on my side, not my back? Toilet, did I respond to my body when it asked to go? Because these tiny shifts, they're not just good habits. They're lifelines, invisible armor protecting your most vulnerable hours. Microphone, final words. Your body has served you for over 7 decades. It has fought battles, carried burdens, and weathered storms you don't even talk about anymore. Now, it's asking for one thing in return: care. Not expensive treatments. Not miracle cures. Just a few mindful choices, each night, before you close your eyes. Speech balloon call to action. If this video touched you, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more wisdom on aging with strength and dignity. And share this with someone you love. It might save their life. Backhand index pointing down in the comments, tell us. Which of these bedtime habits are you going to change tonight? And if you're ready to learn more about how to live longer, sleep better, and age with grace, click the playlist on your screen right now. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and sleep safe.